The morning sun spilled over the quiet neighborhood of Maple Street, warming the dew on the grass. Birds chirped in the maple trees that lined the sidewalks. Daniel laced his running shoes on the front porch, stretching his legs. He was in his 30s, fit and sharp-eyed, but there was a heaviness to his face, or the weight of years and quiet worries. Across the street, Mrs. Alvarez was already in her garden, wearing her wide straw hat, humming as she watered the roses. She waved. "Morning, Daniel." He waved back with a smile. "Beautiful day, isn't it?" In another part of the city, Sarah wrestled with the morning rush. She had 2 kids, Emma and Noah, bright-eyed and talkative. The smell of toast filled the kitchen as she packed lunches. "Mom, is it true," Noah asked suddenly, "that Jesus is coming soon?" Sarah smiled, brushing his hair back. "Yes, and when he does, we'll be ready." Her Bible lay open on the counter. The page marked at 1 Thessalonians. The verse seemed to glow in the morning light. "We will be caught up to meet the Lord in the air." Elsewhere, the city pulsed with life. Buses roared past crowded sidewalks, construction workers shouted over the clamor of steel and stone, shopkeepers swept their doorsteps. No one suspected that this ordinary morning was about to become the most extraordinary day in history. It began with a sound. At first, Daniel thought it was the wind shifting, a low, distant hum that seemed to come from everywhere at once. It grew louder, richer, more alive, as if the sky itself were singing. Sarah stopped at a red light with her children, heard it too. Her breath caught. She had heard this sound in her dreams before. Then it happened. The sky split open with a brilliance unlike anything the world had ever seen. It was not sunlight, and it was purer, sharper, burning with the fire of eternity. And in that instant, graves all over the earth burst open. From the hillside cemetery by the church, Daniel's grandfather, gone for 20 years, rose, his body whole, his eyes clear. From forgotten battlefields, from ocean depths, from every resting place, the dead in Christ rose in glory. Why, Daniel felt it before he saw it. A weight lifting, a pull from above, like being drawn into the heart of heaven itself. One heartbeat, he was on the jogging path. The next, his feet were no longer touching the ground. His body was aglow with light, stronger and freer than he had ever known. Sarah turned to her children. Emma and Noah's faces were lit with wonder. "It's him," she whispered, and in a blink they were gone, not vanished into emptiness, but clothed in glory, lifted upward together, leaving their car silently rolling to a stop. And it was happening everywhere. A farmer in Kenya vanished from his field, leaving his plow behind. A teacher in Brazil disappeared mid-sentence, her students staring in shock. A prisoner in a cold cell in Eastern Europe was gone, chains left lying on the floor. From every tribe, every language, every generation, the faithful rose, drawn into the clouds toward a light so bright, it filled all of heaven and earth. I am, and there above the clouds he stood, Jesus, radiant beyond description, his eyes burning with love, his robe pure white, a crown of many crowns upon his head. Around him, angels stretched from horizon to horizon, their voices a mighty chorus. Daniel's heart leapt. Every sorrow, every pain, every fear dissolved in the warmth of that gaze. Sarah fell to her knees, overwhelmed by joy. All around them, voices rose in worship, families embraced. Friends long separated found each other again. Sarah spotted her mother, the one she had lost years ago to illness. They ran to each other, holding on as if to never let go. Daniel found his grandfather, stronger than he remembered, tears streaming down his face. The king had come for his own, but on earth the world was unraveling. Cars without drivers slammed into buildings. Planes without pilots plummeted from the sky. Crowds screamed in confusion. News anchors struggled to speak as reports flooded in from every corner of the globe. Parents searched frantically for missing children. Friends shouted the names of loved ones who would never answer. Churches stood half empty, those remaining realizing with horror that the warnings they had heard were true. The day of grace had ended. Judgment was near. Binan. Above, far from the chaos, the redeemed moved with Christ toward a horizon of golden light. The sound of angels filled the air. Ahead lay the home they had longed for, where sorrow would never touch them again. And as the gates of heaven drew near, the promise of Jesus echoed in every heart. "I will come again and receive you to myself." For those who had believed, eternity had just begun. For those left behind, and the time of decision was over.